Hello and welcome to Stuff You Need to Know About Science. More specifically for this episode, stuff you need to know about evolution. During this video, I'll go from the beginning to the end of evolution, or at least what I can fit into under 5 minutes. Evolution is a process where an organism adapts or changes to its environment. This adaptation occurs when the organism mutates. Mutation is really just a change in the structure of DNA, the blueprints of life. This change in DNA causes very small parts of all of us, proteins, to be built slightly differently. On a side note, the strand of DNA used to create these proteins is called a gene. Proteins are the building blocks that are used to make everything that is in the living body. So as these changes in the DNA affecting the proteins happen, an organism can be affected in many different ways. So as these changes happen, the organism can be affected in many ways. Say the gene that controls the type of pigment is changed in a guy called Fred, reducing the quantities of pigment-reducing proteins in Fred's body. Then the colour of Fred's hair might, rather than brown, be blonde, as there is less pigment to make it dark. Sadly, in most cases, including this one, it is not quite as simple. Usually, physical traits such as hair colour are controlled by multiple genes. Anyway, getting back to the evolution part of this. When one of these changes occurs, it has a chance to benefit the organism. Conversely, it can also hinder the organism's survival, or potentially have no real impact whatsoever. If an organism survives for a greater period of time, it has a better chance of having more offspring, thus spreading its genetic code and the mutation that has occurred. This process is called natural selection. We can show natural selection with an interesting historical example. Just before the industrialization of Britain, there was a moth that was white, except for some small speckles of black dots. It was called the Peppermill. This moth had a mutation that made the moth black instead of white, but this mutation was quite rare. After the industrialization of Britain, something had changed. All of a sudden, you'd scarcely be able to find a white pepper moth, as there were nearly only black ones left. This was because the environment had changed during the Industrial Revolution. Burning all of that coal had left the once quite lightly coloured trees much darker due to the soot, these trees being the natural hiding place of the pepper moth. So far, we've looked at the basics of evolution, mutation and natural selection. Next time I see you, I will expand upon this idea of evolution, as well as introducing new factors, such as genetic drift, what are niches, and the effect chance has on evolution. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon and bye the bye.